It has been weeks since many of us have had the opportunity to go to our favorite conch shack and get a conch snack, whether that's Bamboo Shack, Royals, Dirties, the woman in Chippenham whose name I can't remember, or the other lady that's in Stapleton that has that melt in your mouth good cracked conch. As a matter of fact, prior to us being on lockdown, I really thought cracked conch was a very, very difficult kind of food to make, despite the fact that when I go to, let's say, fairs and we go to parties, it's pretty much a quick food to make. You fry it until it's a golden brown, and if it's done really, really well, it will melt in your mouth. Good cracked conch is just deliciously balanced, flavored. You can still taste the conch, but it's seasoned. It's not rubbery. Let me say that again. Good cracked conch is not rubbery. You get rubbery cracked conch when you fry it for too long. Hello everyone, I'm Bodine Victoria. Welcome to my kitchen, and this is my pot. Shh. Now, before some of y'all who watched the last episode get to making y'all jokes, I just need y'all to know I got a bigger pot that is a little bit deeper, because what we're gonna do today is we're going to satisfy a craving. We're gonna start off today with our ingredients. I like to say cups, right? But I have about a pound of fresh cracked conch that has been tenderized. And although it's been tenderized, I'm gonna tenderize it again because I really want this to be some soft and flavorful cracked conch. Then I have my Ignite spices, some onion powder, salt, and some Dunbar garlic powder. I also have some spicy Cajun seasoning from Dunbar's because we're going to be making a spicy cracked conch, and I don't feel the need to reinvent the wheel per se. Now, you may be wondering why I have milk here, because we're not going to be using an egg in the batter. I'm going to be using the milk to help tenderize this, but we need buttermilk. I've not been able to find buttermilk in the neighborhood food stores for weeks, and so we're going to make our own buttermilk using the whole fat milk. Don't try this with 2%, don't try this with reduced fat. And we're going to use a bit of vinegar. You have oil, and behind me, I have the flour that we're going to use for dredging. Some of y'all gonna laugh at me right now. Bodine does not own a mallet. I'm sorry, I should. Mine broke. You know what's not gonna break? This, okay? So if you wanna laugh at me, that's fine. I have two choices, either the hammer or my rolling pin. And simply because I'm from the island, we're going to use my hammer, all right? Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your conch, you're gonna put it in a plastic bag, and you're just going to kind of flattening out the conch not only helps for the seasoning to kind of permeate the conch, but it also makes it cook more evenly. So that's a major tip. Beat your conch properly. I'll just put this over to the side. Y'all see how flat that is? Like flat. Okay, I'm gonna put in about a cup and a half. I just look and see what I had there. And we are going to add to this about a quarter cup of vinegar. I'm gonna take the the onion powder, and I'm gonna add that to this. Just a little bit of salt and our garlic powder. A little bit of Ignite gold pepper flakes into that. I'm gonna mix it up. And so this is where we're going to drop our conch into the bowl. So no fuss, no muss, no muss, no fuss, no mess, no drama. We're going to marinate this for about 30 minutes. So we're going to put our plastic wrap on top of it, And now we're going to stick this in the refrigerator. While that's marinating, I'm just gonna mix up our dredging flour and we're gonna fry our French fries, all right? So what you wanna do is you wanna take about a cup and a half, depending again on how much of the batter you're gonna be using or how much of the conch you're gonna be using. It's about a cup and a half, maybe more, of flour. I'm also just gonna add a little bit of spicy Cajun seasoning. And we're gonna add a pinch of salt. All right. What's cracked conch without French fries? I'm actually gonna take my seasoned oil. This is some oil I had in the refrigerator that I had used for French fries in the past. Yes, because we're not wasting oil. And I'm gonna put it inside this pot. And I'm only using this for French fries, okay? Now, in my freezer, I have my French fries. Let me tell you what I did with these. This is a potato. This size potato is going to give you 1 serving size of fries per person. So you're looking at about 75 cents, maybe 80 cents per potato for 1 person. Okay. I scrubbed it, I washed them with water, and then I cut it into evenly sized pieces. So these are about the same width and the same size. And then I boiled them. As you can see, they're still turgid. So they still have a bit of body to them. So you want to parboil them a little bit. I think that's a safer term. And then you want to take them off of the stove and you want to rinse them immediately so that they don't continue to cook. And you want to douse them in cold water. You don't want to put any type of wet, vegetable wet, anything, like water wet, anything into hot oil. What's going to happen is you can get plap in your face. Right underneath this makeup, I have some plap scars. You don't want that. And while I'm doing this, I'm actually gonna turn the stove on. Y'all thought y'all wasn't gonna see this pot again, eh? Ha! This is my frying pot, I didn't tell y'all that. Now that I have these basically dry, I'm gonna switch it up just a little bit so that you can see exactly what's happening inside the pot. And I want us to look at our French fry, okay? Our French fry is pretty dry. And like I said, you can see that it's turgid. It's not opaque. It's not fully opaque, but it's also not fully translucent. And that's what we want to see. I'm gonna test it. No, our oil is not hot enough, but it is getting there. Okay, so again, it's floating. So now I'm gonna add just a few more fries into the oil because it appears to be hot enough. I guess it ain't hot enough. Now what you're seeing here is the fact that the bubbles are releasing all of the moisture outside of the fries. And we're gonna continue to cook these until they are a golden brown. And you can see already, that's just the oil allowing the moisture to come out of them. You see that? So you see the difference now? Look at, oops, this French fry. Moisture escapes. You're going to see just how much the bubbles slow down. Oops. Take them out, put them. So guys, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna continue to fry these fries and try not to eat them all. And now it's time for us to get our conch that has been marinated for about 30 minutes out of the refrigerator and into our pot. What we want to do is we want just enough oil to cover our conch, and also we don't want the conch to kind of go all the way to the bottom of the pan, because regardless, there's going to be some sediment or some things that are going to fall to the bottom of the pot, and it's going to affect the color of your conch. So if you really know, you realize that in some places they have baskets and they drop the conch after they would have floured it into baskets. That is the reason why. Gonna get my conch, and now I'm going to throw off a lot of this buttermilk because we don't need it anymore. You want to get as much buttermilk off of your conch as possible, because what you don't want is for your conch to be wet as you're getting ready to drop it into the pan. That is a bad idea. We're going to take our conch. This is going to be a test piece. And all you're going to do is you're going to dredge it in the flour, just like this. Our oil is not hot enough, so I'm going to turn this up. Let's try this piece inside our pot. All right, our oil is hot enough. So let's work very quickly. And listen, you only want it to get to about a golden brown. Like literally, don't even wait for it to get brown too much, because it's going to continue to cook after you take it out of the oil. And if you notice, the conch is floating, and that's exactly what we want. And taking the smaller pieces out so that they don't overcook. I wasn't ready yet. This is why I say that smaller pieces are easier to manage. I know a lot of Bahamians don't like small pieces of meat in general, but you're able to ensure that the food is cooked thoroughly. And you're also able to share it in portion sizes a whole lot better. This one isn't done. Throw that right back inside there. See that? I can't even keep it together where it's so nice, and you see this? This is what you want, okay? I'm gonna drop the rest of these into the pot, fry them out, and when I come back, we'll have our conch snack. Just like that, we have our homemade conch snack. I am so proud of the way that this came out. Listen to me. One thing I want to show you guys, and hopefully, you know, we could go in. This one here, this ain't what your conch's supposed to look like when it comes out, okay? Hold on, let's see. If your chicken looks like this, that's fine, all right? But your conch should not look like this after it comes out. You see, it's chewy and it's oily. The reason for this is I dropped this piece into the oil while the oil was too hot, so it kind of shocked the conch. It's seasoned, but ain't nobody want no elasticy conch to eat. Hold on. Now let's get to what your conch should look like. This right here is a tender piece of conch, okay? Like, I'm gonna pull it apart. It's golden. It's not super oily. Conch toppings. I know some people really love their tartar sauce. I'm not gonna go with tartar sauce. I'm going with hot sauce, ketchup, and pickled onions. All y'all mayo people, y'all keep that over there. If you like it, I love it, but I don't really love it, so y'all can have that, okay? Ketchup. I need more ketchup. Look at that. Y'all, I need more ketchup. Okay, ketchup, hot sauce. Oh yes, I like mine spicy. And pickled onions. I made these at home. These are spicy. I had a little piece of onion left, and so I said, you know what? I'm gonna make some cracked conch. It's time for some onions. So what you do is you take the onions, some vinegar, some pickling spice, and you just throw it on top of these. These are cut pretty thick. Like if you go to some of the other places, they have them cut pretty thin. I don't mind because I really love onions. Throw that on top of here. It's a good day. And that's that. Now I'm going to enjoy my cracked conch. And I also want you to remember, don't let any and everybody dig up in your pot. Bye. I don't want to be judged. Let me move this like Tetris. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum.